First of all, we respect the will of the Sudanese people, and as a sovereign state, whatever happens in the Republic of Sudan is really the business of the people of Sudan. But of course, we are aware at the same time that we are neighbors, and our relations are very, very important for both Sudan and South Sudan. And we believe that this relationship actually transcends the political leadership. And so, regardless of what happens in the Republic of Sudan, we would not see that as negatively impacting in any way relations with the Republic of South Sudan.
What do you mean to not negatively impact you guys in any way? Because Bashir has been at the forefront of looking over the peace process currently.
Yeah, it's true. It's true that Bashir, especially in the last stages of the high-level revitalization forum process, played an instrumental role alongside President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda. But when I say that relations are not necessarily going to be impacted in any adverse way, it's simply because both the Sudanese and the South Sudanese as people are convinced that their mutual interest mandates that they coexist, live peacefully side by side, and benefit from one another.
What implications do you think the coup in Sudan directly have on South Sudan?
I don't think it will have any direct implication because, as I said, it is in the interest of the Sudanese as well as the interest of the people of South Sudan to continue having good relations. And right now we have got very good relations with Sudan, especially in the oil sector, because that oil is critical to both the economies of Sudan and the economies of South Sudan. We are a landlocked country. We export our crude through the Republic of Sudan. And Sudan, in return for that, actually also gets money from the oil revenue. So there are mutual advantages to be pursued by close collaboration between the two countries. And that's why I believe that political changes in Khartoum will not have any undesirable results in the relationship between the two countries.
Are there any concerns, particular concerns you have on Sudan, especially with what's going on? Because it's still a developing story. Anything can happen.
It's true.
It's
true. It's still an evolving situation, but we would sincerely hope that the Sudanese will all get their act together, will continue having dialogue among themselves so that the situation in Sudan returns to normalcy as soon as possible. We hope that can be achieved.
Honorable, you know as well as I do that power in most of these African countries resides at the top. The person on top holds that mantle of power. So anything, if there's anything to be worried about, South Sudan should be worried because the decisions that were made by, for example, Bashir, everything's going to change going forward. Don't you think that that's going to have direct impact on you going forward?
Not necessarily. I mean, things can change in terms of Sudan's relations with many other different countries, but I'm telling you that the interconnection between South Sudan and Sudan is such that it's not easy for either side to do things that can undermine that relationship. Those relationships are vital for survival. We have a very long common border, and the majority of our population actually lives along that border. So it's not easy for situations to be allowed to cause relations to deteriorate, no matter who is in power in Khartoum.
As a leader, what would you tell to young people who are still in the streets saying that they need more than just maybe a figurehead, change of a figurehead? They want a whole purge of these old guards to go out.
Obviously, since I'm not a Sudanese, I'm not qualified to tell people in the streets what to do. We respect the people of Sudan. We respect their wishes and their desires. It is their problem to sort out at the end of the day, but all we can do is to wish them the very best.